everyone, I think we're live. Let me double check that. Hello everyone, how are you all doing? So this is our first exercise. In the future, all the exercises will be on Saturday in the morning. So I will create a list of multiple tasks that you need to do, and some of them I will do on the stream, and some you can do off the stream during your weekend. So everybody can go and work on their coding skills. So how was your weekend and Easter? Hope it went well. So for all your questions, you can ask me in the YouTube chat or ask me on the Slack channel. I know if you are watching it again, if you watched the lecture before, or you know all that, but just so everybody knows if there are any new people here. So yeah. So I will wait for a few minutes just so everybody can get online and tune in to the lecture. Hello, Philip. So how was your weekend and Easter? Hope it went well. So let's start. So idea behind these exercises are that we go through everything that we learn in 2 lectures like before, basics and the DOM, so we can use them in like a real world way. So it's something that you could do on your programming job or while building some app for yourself or for somebody else. So we will use everything that we learn as today, and we will try to use it in like a real life way. So as I said before, all 8 exercises will be at Saturday, like in early in the morning, like 10 a.m. if that's early for you guys. And there will be some tasks that we'll do on the stream during the lecture, and some for you to do at home. And then we can do like talk via Slack or via YouTube chat about it a little bit more if everything went well and so on. Today I won't give you any like additional tasks. Yeah, my weekend went pretty well, yeah. Okay guys, so just to show you again the schedule. The schedule will be updated when we go through we update it like on this Sunday. So just so you know, on Thursday we will have functions. The functions and loops are pretty important for programming, so this is a really important part. Exercise, we will go through function examples and some more complicated stuff like combining our functions with the DOM. And next week we will go Danica will have beginner CSS, so that's quite important for front-end guys. I'm pretty bad at CSS. I can do the beginner stuff, but like all advanced stuff are pretty out of my reach. And after that we'll go to MapReduce. This is, at least I tend to agree that this is like the most important thing in JavaScript. So you can understand MapReduce, filter, and like include and things like that. That's quite important. And after that, we'll go through the project structure and some live coding. And like on Saturday, we will go on the exercise and we'll do our first like app, like full-fledged like web app. And after that, we will like build upon this exercise and do some more like fetching from web servers and fetching from different APIs. So for today, if you can go to the GitHub repo, I will paste it in the chat, and you can download the zip, or you can just git pull the you can git pull from your terminal. So let me show you. If you go to your repo, where's your location, you can just say git pull and it will update. I'm already up to date. But for you guys, you can go there and just press git pull. So yeah. So when you download the Lockdown Learning, you will see that there is a new folder in here called Exercise 1. And in Exercise 1, there is a folder called Images. Let me just like increase this and maybe put a little bit bigger font. I always forget to turn it back. Okay, and in here there are only 3 pictures of an Apple, like Linux and Windows, and we will do everything else. We'll create our index HTML, we'll create our script.js, and we'll do it all from scratch. So it will be really good for you to create everything while I code this and try to like keep it at pace with me. This is quite important because this thing we will do like multiple times, and if you have any programming career or you do any apps, you will do this a lot. So yeah, let's go and create in our exercise 1 first the index HTML. So if you remember how our HTML looks, like, don't worry if you remember or not, we can do it like again. So the first thing that all the HTML need to have is the HTML tag. So you need to write it like this. After that, every HTML tag needs to have a head, and after that it needs to have body. So if you remember in head, like I created multiple things in there, but the one important things for it to have here is title, and we can say its title is Lockdown. So when we try to open this, like let's try to open this folder and double click on the index HTML, what will happen for you, you will open your browser, it will automatically open your browser, and you can see our HTML page here. So at the moment there is nothing in there, no content at all, but there is a title called #lockdown. Let me just get back my chat. Yeah. So for everybody who has some like difficulties like writing this down, I will paste it so we can be faster. So after we created an index.html, we need to create another file in here called script.js. At the moment, let's just leave it empty in here, and on the end of the body tag, before it closes, we need to write down script source is script.js, and we need to close the script tags. So this way, everything that's written in script.js will automatically be included in our HTML, and everything will be run like out of the box. Let's try that. Let's open our with like inspect, Control-Shift-I or F12, or if you're on Windows, and it says hello. So yeah, that's pretty much that we've done like multiple times, but just so we can repeat everything and to really know everything that happened here. So first things first, let's look at our HTML, and what we can do here is just to create a datetime like string here. So every time we restart the page, like a new datetime will be written here. So for first, let's just write a div here and set it class datetime. So this will be our datetime element here. We can leave it div. So one thing that I haven't showed you before is how to like create a new date object that we can control, and we can do everything with that. It's really easy. So let's just console log and create a const. So let's say we'll call it datetime, and we will just write down new date like this. So for everybody that is like knows how to program in other languages, this is like pretty normal way of initialization of classes. In the future, we will go through them a little bit more, but for now, it's just enough that you write like this. So every time we need to have a new date, we'll just write it like this. We can console log the datetime, and we can see if we refresh everything, we will get datetime written in the way that JavaScript likes it to be written. So yeah, so let us do a little bit more. Let us catch our datetime element, and let us like set the content of our datetime element to the datetime created here. So let's do const datetime element equals document query selector, and after that set dot datetime. Remember from last time, this selector here and this like dot here means we are searching for a class called datetime. In our index.html, we can see that we have a div here with the class datetime. And after that, what we will do, it's called datetime element text content equals datetime. Datetime, yeah. So datetime element text content will become the value of the datetime up here. So let us try it like this. So we will see that every time we refresh the page, like the seconds will go up. Yeah. So everybody following me? Yeah. So so there is a lot of like things that we can do with this datetime. Let us like change our title to a current datetime in a like little bit different way. So if you remember from the last time, we use like the setter document.title equals something like, let's say hello. When we try to refresh the page, you can see there is a hello in our title now. So what we can do here, we can say something like, we can write something like this. Let's say hello, and after that we can write document title. So what will this do? It will set the document title value to like hello, and then after that it will concat the document title that was the value of document title that was before. So we can refresh this and we can see it will say hello lockdown, hashtag lockdown, and hashtag lockdown was the value of it before. So what we can do here, we can write, let's say, current time of the project. Let me just change so you can all see. Let it say without camera scene, yeah. So you can everybody can see the whole my whole editor here. So we can do here, we can play with a new date a little bit more, and we can, there is something like this. So let's get hours. So if we write it something like this and refresh it, you can see like the value of our title is 18 lockdown. So this way we can get our hours from date time without like pasting the whole like date string here. What we can do here, just the same way, we can do $, datetime dot get minutes, right, like this, and try it. So there is like the time, the current time when we refreshed the browser was 18 hours and 14 minutes. Again, we can do it again. We can copy paste it for easier access and say get seconds here and write little dash here. So you can see here the document title now becomes datetime get hours, datetime get minutes, datetime get seconds. And if you try to refresh it, we get cool clock here. So every time we refresh, like the title will change, and also our datetime here will change. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So okay, so at the moment what we have done, we created a script that every time we refresh our browser, it says the time in our title, and it says like the full Tuesday, April 14 of 2020, and so on and so on, and either our the daytime zone, yeah, here. So yeah, if there are any questions, just ask them, and if you need to slow down, just type it in the YouTube chat, and I will explain it again. Okay. So yeah, we set the title. We changed the datetime div here, the value of the datetime div. But let us do something a little bit more complicated here. So let us try to create another element that we'll call, let's say, language element, and we'll paste the language of our browser in there. So if your browser is in English, it will say something like en-us, or if you're in Croatian, it will say like hr.hr, or if you are in if you have set language in your browser, something different, it will say it like that. If you remember the previous time we were discussing that there is something called the navigator, and if you call navigator.language, it will say for me like English and US, like version of English. It could be like English and Great Britain written here or something like that. And let's print that value in a new element in here. So let us try to do that. That should be pretty simple. If you remember, so let's call it language element, and let's create it. So document, create element, and div. Yeah. And if you remember from last time, there's something called text content, and we can set that text content in every element with some value. So let's say text content equals navigator.language. And also, if you remember, we need to append child element to the body so we can see it. So document.body.append child and say language element in there. And save it, and let's refresh our browser, our page. So it says here it's Tuesday and the language is English US. So let us create a little bit that like more precise thing and says browser language is let us try like something like this. So background language is English US version. For you it could be Croatian or something like that, something other. I don't know from where are you guys all. I presume Croatia. So yeah. So that's something that easy to do and we can create like that. It's pretty simple. Let us do something more complicated and let's try to see what operating system we are running underneath our browser and so on. So there is also a property in our navigator, call it navigator dot, if you remember, it's platform. So for everybody, it's probably will be something like Win32 or something like that. For me is Linux because I'm running Linux. If you can like paste it in YouTube chat, it'd be easier for me to see like everything else. I presume like you will get something like Win32 or Macintel. So you have something else than like Win32 or Macintel. Just write it down here so I will. So I know that you're running something like FreeBSD or something crazy like that. Why am I asking you? Because I don't want to like paste like Linux x86 underscore 64 and say it just in here like our platform is something like that or our operating system is something like that. I want to use the images that you can see here and like don't say with words but just paste an image in there. How about that? Okay, so you're running Linux also. Great. Thank you, Vera. So let us do something like this. So let us create our platform element and call it document create div. Oh, not div, image. We want an image here, right? And we can say something like if navigator.platform equals, and then let me copy Linux 84. We can say platform element dot source is equal to /linux.png. And if you're running Windows, let's say else if navigator.platform equals to Win32, then we can say platform element.source equals I can't remember, it's probably windows.png. And of course, let us not forget that we need to write document.body.append child and then say platform element. Maybe if you're running like Android or something like that, I don't know what if you're running like everything on some Chromebook or something like that, it would probably say Android. So yeah, let's try this. Okay. I'm pretty stupid. So relative paths are written like this. with dot before it. Dot means like current folder or current position or something like that, right? Or no? Oh, okay. It's in the folder images. So it's written like this: dot images dot slash images slash Linux PNG and dot slash images slash Windows PNG. So let's, okay. I got a penguin here. So you can have like a penguin here or an Linux or a Windows like logo here. If we like edit this, you'll see that if we rewrite here Windows, it's Windows here. But if we refresh, it's a penguin. Yeah, pretty cool. I will just like increase, yeah, so you can see it more easily. Yeah, okay, sorry, I will go through it again. So we can query we can like get the value of the navigator platform like here, and if it's equal to the Linux, so on the Linux string here, we can set the platform element dot source to this string. So it's, if you look at, it's like in the images folder, and images folder there is Linux PNG and like Windows PNG. So we can set the source of a platform element to this string like dot slash images slash Linux PNG, or if it's Win32, the platform element dot source we can set to images slash windows.png. And we can write again else if navigator dot platform equals to Macintel. I presume this is the string that Mac user will get. I don't have Mac, so I haven't tested it at all. But we can say platform element dot source equals dot slash images slash apple.png. So if you're a Mac user, you will now get an Apple logo image. Let me try to inspect here and change it to Apple. So let us see what will happen. Yeah, you will get an Apple here. So yeah, so this is like the if else, normal if else that we've done before, and so you can play around with that. So if you're using like Android or something, it will say like Android version something, and you can say, you can import here a new like image of Android or something like that, and you can test it with your mobile phone. Yeah. So let us do something more. Let's say like, let's write out what's the size of our window current. It's a similar like we created here, like the language element, but there is multiple variables in there. So let us do const, let's say size element, document, it's create element, let's say again div. So divs are like the default ones. We can use like span or something like that, but divs are pretty okay for us at the moment. So size element docs text content, and like what's the window like width and window. If you remember from last time, there is something like called inner width. So we can say like window dot inner width, yeah, and times like window like x inner height. Where is my inner height? It's like here. So this will like write down our resolution, or it will be like pretty much our resolution, like 6 or 8 pixels like difference in our inner height if you don't have any toolbar up there. And don't forget to write down like document body append child size element. If you forget to write this, we we won't see our element written out in HTML. So what we do here, we use like the string interpolation to write like our resolution of a screen. And if you go up here and press F5, have I forgotten something? Document. Oh, it's text content, it's not text. Size element dot text content. If you press F5, we will see the resolution of the screen. I have it zoomed, and if I refresh it, like it's 9020 times 9040 because I have the giant toolbar here. It's actually like 1080, but that's a problem that we have a lot of in web design. Everybody presumes that your web app or website resolution is like your full resolution of your screen. It's not. Actually, it's the height. It's a little bit lower, and if you have some crazy sidebars or something like that, your width will be lower as well. Some older browsers like Internet Explorer 8 and so on has like crazy sidebars and so on. Yeah. If you want to frustrate any like web designer or web developer, just say that you use Internet Explorer 8. Thank me later for that. Yeah. So this is like pretty easy, and it's pretty cool. But let us create something that let's create something that like a user can enter something in there, and something will change on our web page if users enter there. So what we can do here, and what we can show you, we can use like different inputs in here. But the problem is we haven't done any functions in there, and you need to know functions to use input properly. And to create it, like some changes, like when the user enters something on clicks or something like that. But I can show you like how inputs looks at this point, and then we can do some changes on our page with URL box in there, something called query parameters. If you want to use like input, and we will use that during the functions a lot, you can just write in your HTML something like input, something like this. And what will happen if we refresh it, we will get like an empty box here that we can write something in there. And if you like logged in Facebook or logged in YouTube or something, you'll know there is like a username and password that we need to write in, and there is always a button that we need to press. And like the button to get the button in your HTML, you can just copy paste the input and say type equals button. And if you refresh, we will get like an empty button here and text box. Also, if we say in this input is input with the type button, if we say some value like press me, what will happen here, we will have like an input there and a button that we can press. So the problem here, I wanted to go through functions before we do something like that, so we need to skip this. But this is a good way that you know that you can create like custom input fields, and on the press of this click, something can happen. But that's the function part. As for now, that we can do is create something that's called like query parameters in our URL. So let us go to like Google or DuckDuckGo, but let's like go to Google for this test sake. So you know that you can enter something in Google and search it, let's say JavaScript. So, okay. So what we can do here, without typing in here, we can search Google, search the internet with Google. we can go in our URL search box here and type like question mark q equals JavaScript and press enter. Okay, this like enters the JavaScript in here and it writes out. If we try without the slash here, no, it still types like this. Interesting. Or we need to write down OQ. No, okay, it doesn't matter. But what we've done here, we actually influenced what we'll see on this page by creating something like this. But with creating something that we called a query parameter up here. So let us try that to do this on our page here. So let us write down, just paste the question mark q equals JavaScript. Press enter. So it won't happen here at all, but we can look here, go to the console, and we can write down like window.location. This is not the location of your geolocation, like where are you, in what country are you. This is like your window. What's the location of your window? What's this like URL here? And we can see here that there's a lot of like information here, but the path name is the full like path name of what we can read here, the URL here, and there is something search here. And we can use this data here. So we can use the Windows location.search as any other property from our window navigator to influence to influence our web page, to like set at least the value of here or influence something else here. But what I want to do here is to say something like hello world, and if we type here in this after the question mark something like name equals David, let's try it like this. It says hello, my name is David, and if it's like if there is none like query parameters here, it will just say hello world. So let us try to do that. Let us open our script.js. And let's write something like const, I don't know how it say, like hello element equals document dot create element, and let's create a div here. What you can say, like let's say defaultly its text document is hello world, and let us not forget to create document body append child, but not size element again, but hello element. Yeah, this we will do this a lot, so prepare for it. And let's refresh it. It will say hello world. But if we create here something like name equals David, we want it to say hello, my name is David. So the fastest way to get the query variable called named and its value of the variable name in our query URL, we can create something. We can use the window.location, not local storage, but location.search, and we can like take it from there, then substring and do some crazy string things, or we can use something called URL search params. And the URL search params are called similar to our date, and you just need to send it in there, the window.location search. So it's the new URL search params and in there called windows.location.search. we can say it's called URL params equals new URL search params. Something like this. And what we can do in this URL params, there is an option called like get all or get, and we can say get me a name here. URL params.get apostrophes name. So let us try to console log it to see what this actually does. Let us go to our website, press F5, and what it does, it says David. Okay, let us try to change this to, I've done it with Steven. Okay, it says Steven. If we change it, we can say John. Okay, so let us go back to our code. What we can do here is we can write something like this. Maybe better here. If URL params, or like this, let's write like this. Const name equals URL params get name. And then we can say if name, then we can say const, not const, but hello element.text content equals hello, my name is, and after that say name. But yeah, don't forget to put the URL params before we calling the URL params here. The definition needs to be before something like this. So again, let us see what are we doing here. We are getting the URL params like this with this constructor type here with Windows location.search. Don't worry about this. We will get in the future. We will do a lot more with our classes. After that, we can write const name. We can get the name, the value of the name search param, and we can say it's called name. And after that, we can see if name is hello element. If the name exists, we can set the hello element text content to hello, my name is name. Let us check our HTML. So it says here, hello, my name is John. If you change it to David, it will say hello, my name is David. Or if you delete all the everything after the question mark, it will say hello world. Pretty cool, ain't it? So in the future, we will do the same thing, but we will get the user input from like text boxes like this and through buttons like this, or maybe some others like checkboxes or something like that. But we need to know the functions. So next time be prepared for functions, because that's quite important for JavaScript. I mean, it's pretty important for any programming language. So yes, we can like write a little bit better this. We don't need to have it first set up to hello world and then set up to this name. We can say here else name is undefined or null. We can say it here hello element.text content equals hello world. This is just a little bit cleaner code, and you can see that if name is set, go to hello, my name is so on, and if it's not, go to hello world. Let's try it again. David, hello, my name is David, and everything else stays the same. But let us create a link that where if user clicks on it, it will automatically set his the name in the query to something, let's say like Steven or David or John or something like that. Let's create a link and add it to our, like the href element, or links as it called, hyperlinks as they're called, like with like regular users. So what we need to do, we need to create a const called link element, and we need to use document create element, and we need to say it's a. So a elements are the link elements, or called anchors. That's why it's called a. Why they're called anchors? You need to ask the people who invented HTML, because it's really confusing. But remember, A stands for links. Why? Ask those people, because I'm not sure at the moment. We just went with that. So yeah, create element A. So on our link element, there is something called href, and that's our URL that when we click on the link, we will go to that URL. At the moment, let's say like www.google.com, and let's add that document.body.appendChild link element. One thing don't forget is to write link element.text content, and we can say here, click here to go to Google. Let's write something like that. So we will create a link element here with our anchor element. We will set the href to www.google.com. href means like where that links like goes, where it follows. And after that, we can set text content is click here to go to Google. So what will happen with this? Let us refresh here. So there is a hyperlink here. It says click here to go to Google. And if you click on it, we will actually go to www. Oh man, again with that. What we need to say here is HTTP or HTTPS before www Google, or it will totally forgot where are we, right? Okay. So now when you click on this, click here to go to Google, it goes to Google. Again, don't forget as me the HTTPS before it, because if you like leave this out, the browser thinks that are we going to some other page that's hosted on the same URL. Yeah. But what we want to do is not go to Google. So we want, when we click this link here, to change this string here, hello, my name is something else. So let us change name to Steven. And what we'll write here is question mark names equal Steven. So what will happen here, it will when you click on this link, it will refresh the page, but it will add the question mark names equal Steven here. So let us try that. Let's refresh. And then when we change the name here, it will go, hello, my name is Steven. Let's try, let's delete the pair here. So hello world, and when you click on this link, it's hello, my name is Steven. So what we have done here is when user clicks on here, it will change the search parameter or query parameter, however you want to call it. In literature, it's used like interchangeable. We'd say here name equals Steven. Let's delete again. It's hello world, click hello, my name is Steven. Yeah, pretty cool. What we can do here is actually just copy paste this part, call not this link element, but let's say link element 1, and say name equals to David, and this will be our link to change the name to David. And again, we need to remember to add our element to the body. So now we will have two different link elements with like different URLs here. What will happen? Oh, okay, it's like one each other, but this will change to Steven, this will change to David. So the problem here is that divs are presumed that will be only one div in the line, and when we're talking about anchors, anchors can be like multiple anchors in the same line here. If you want to break line and put the other anchor in the like a new line, we can use here, like we can write here down like document body.append child document create element and then say br means break. This is just a short way of writing like const something equals document create br and then putting it down there. It's the same way like to write here this, or to write it something like that, const br element equals to document create element br, and after that take that br element here. Oops. Those two ways of writing are totally the same. In this way we are not creating a new variable, so it's like more readable at this moment, because you can't really change the break line like element with text. It doesn't have any text, it doesn't have any attributes there. So let's just refresh and we can see there are now two lines, like change name to Steven, change name to David. You can see that it refreshes every time we click on it. In the future, we will create something that doesn't refresh our page, because this is really, really distracting for the users. And also, like, if we leave our page, like the time doesn't increases here and so on. In the future, we'll create that something that automatically increases the clock and it works properly. Okay, but this is pretty cool that we can create here. So does anybody have any questions or something? Now it's time for you to ask me anything, because after this we will create something that's really, really important for everybody, and that's the dark theme. At the moment our page is really, really bright and really white, and everybody knows that really programmers use the dark theme, like my IDE here. So let me open my camera. So yeah, any questions, guys? You can ask me now, or if I need to repeat something or something like that. It's pretty great if you ask me anything. But you know, like Twitter created a new theme, the dark theme, and I'm not sure like if Facebook has dark theme or not, but everybody needs dark theme. Like this IDE has dark theme. Like the default theme will be, let's say, like this would be the default theme. It really sucks. Like really guys use the dark theme, right? Or I use the Dracula theme. Yeah, so if you are wondering, this way of creating elements is pretty common when you use just JavaScript. In React or in React framework or Angular framework or something like that, the framework creates it automatically without you writing like code like this. But this is pretty important for you to learn how the JavaScript works, because it's pretty hard to understand like framework without the JavaScript, without understanding the JavaScript that's underlying down there. But if you are up for it, I'll continue and do the dark theme here. So what's the dark theme? Dark theme is actually, like, the basic dark theme is, yeah, the Stack Overflow, right, Vera? Yeah, the Stack Overflow created the dark theme. They're pretty late to the party. I think the creator of Stack Overflow, he was like he wanted to do it for years. There is a good, like, it's called Code Horror, his blog. So he wrote, like, for years that he wants a dark theme for Stack Overflow and so on, but it never went to the backlog and it was never done. But what we need to do for our website to have the dark theme? So we need to invert the colors. So all the fonts and all the text will be white, and our background will be black. That's the easiest dark theme that we can do. Actually, it's not really black in Twitter or so. It's like a dark blue, but who cares? So what we can do actually is to change the color of body background. So let us do that first. Let's try to create body, and the body here, if we type here, there is something called style. If you paste style here, you can see that this is actually CSS in the background. So what we'll do, we won't write CSS, but we'll use JavaScript to influence our elements to change its CSS in there. So what we can do here is .style.background equals black. So our first step to the dark theme is here. We still need to change the font to white. So let us do that. Let's say document body, not the background, but color equals white. It looks awful, but okay, it's dark theme. So Stack Overflow needed 10 years to create this. We created that right now. Okay, let's do that similar with what we created before with search parameters or query parameters. Let's say that we need to set theme equals to dark or light to change that there. So if you have multiple search parameters, query parameters, you need to put it and here, and theme equals to dark. It refreshes to light theme, but we'll use the theme from the URL search parameter, and then we will change our, let me paste it. We'll change our theme to dark or light proportionately. So yeah. So let us write here. Remember, we have an object called URL params here, and we can write down const theme equals URL params.get theme. So let's say the default theme is a light theme, right? That's pretty common for everybody. So let's say if theme equals to dark, what we'll do, we'll set the document body.style.background to black, right? The background needs to be black, and document body.style.color equals white. So CSS is pretty old, as is HTML. So the properties of our style can be really confusing. So background is our color behind, and color is the color of the font or text that we have on our page. And let's say else document.body style. So if it's not dark, it's light, background is white, and document.body.style.color is black. Okay, let us try that. So I have in my URL theme equals dark. Let's refresh this. Okay, it's a dark theme. So let's say light. It's light theme here. Pretty cool, right? But there is one problem. If you have the dark theme here and we press change name to Steven, it refreshes to the light theme, right? Yeah, that's not really great. So every time page refreshes, but there is no theme in here written like this, and we press the change name to David, it refreshes to the light theme. So that's not pretty, yeah, that's not great. What we want to do is to put the theme choice of light and dark somewhere permanently. So the way to put it permanently, to save something permanently without having a server or something like that, we can save it actually on the user computer. And there is something in our browser that can do that. If we inspect here and go up here to the application tab, and then it's pretty big, there is something called local storage here. And local storage, I have already something stored in there. I'll delete it. And the local storage is actually a place where we can save like little pieces of data. So nothing too big. So anything like more than a megabyte or so is not really great to be put in local storage. But we can put it here. There's some different ways to put the data stored in like locally on personal computer. There is something called session storage and IndexedDB, WebSQL, and cookies. We'll use local storage for now. Like WebSQL and IndexedDB, you will need to know SQL to do that. And session storage, when you close the browser, it disappears from here. And cookies are something else that we will do in the future, and it's pretty important for authorization, authentication, and stuff like that. So let's save our choice, if it's dark or light, to our local storage. So let us go back to our script, and I will show you something like this. Let us comment out this. We don't need this part to get the theme from here. What we can do is get the theme from local storage. Let's try to set some value and then get the value back out it. So local storage, we can call it from, let me just double check it. It's actually from, I don't know these things by heart, like document or window local storage, right? Yeah, it's window local storage. So you can call it like this, window local storage, or you can just ignore the window part and call it local storage. It works either way. So we can say local storage set item, and we need to put some key in there. Let's say theme, and after that some value in here, and let's say light. So let us ignore also this part for now, and let's try to refresh our page. So if you enter the window.local storage in our console, you will see that there is something like theme equals light. if you check it in application, what will happen here, you will have theme, something stored in local storage with key theme and value light. Cool. If we try to get the item from it, we can use get item, and then you need just to pass the key of that thing stored in local storage. So let's say const theme equals local storage get item theme and console log the theme. So let's try that. So go to console, F5, it's light. Why? Because we stored in our local storage something like key and value, like with key theme and value light. So cool, yeah. We have theme equals local storage get item theme here. So what we'll do here is actually ignore this part for the moment, get the theme from local storage, and then we will set our theme here. So uncomment this part. So we're not getting the theme from URL parameters anymore, but from local storage. So let us try here. So refresh everything. It's a light theme. If you change the value, you can just double click here to dark and press F5. We have the dark theme. And if you refresh the page now, we will have the dark theme like all the time. So it's stored permanently in our browser. The only way that you can remove those local storage is to clear storage here, like press the clear storage, or go to delete all the history in your browser, and there is an option like clear the history and all the local storage and cookies stored here. So it's pretty permanent for the user. If we open this page in some other browser on another device, it won't be the dark theme. You need to reset that to the dark theme then. But if you delete, yeah, let's try to clear the storage. So you can press the clear storage and clear site data here. Refresh. It's light storage, light theme again. Yeah, our local storage is cleared, and if you remember the code, if the theme is dark, then do the dark theme. If it's anything else or undefined, if we console log here the theme, we'll see that our value of our value stored in with key theme is actually null. So it's light theme. If we changed up, if we write here local storage set item theme is dark, refresh the page, we'll get the dark theme here. That would be pretty cool to do if we clicked on the button here and we changed the theme to dark and light without reloading. And that's what we will do in next lecture when we talk about functions, because we need to know the functions to change the something like that, like to auto-update our time or to change our theme with click to light and dark and so on. So this will be pretty important in our future, and when we call functions, so we can set our users with clicks and entering different forms and so on to change something on our site. It's a first step for creating real robust, pretty web apps or websites. So yeah. Yeah, we created about everything that we had. I took this a little bit short because I don't have any tasks to give you or to show you anything cooler. I wanted to show you the functions, but When I was planning everything, I forgot there is a Easter weekend at now. So yeah, take your time to ask me anything, or if you have something to add or anything to comment, you can do now. If there is none, this is the end. You created your first web page. Congratulations, guys. And this is not just a like HTML web page. This is a web page that runs JavaScript in the back and create this page. If we try to like disable the JavaScript, you can disable the JavaScript by using something like here, and then like enable JavaScript. Where is the enable JavaScript part? Extensions, debugger, DevTools. There's somewhere in options to disable JavaScript. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. But if you disable JavaScript, like nothing here will be shown. Like the only thing that will be shown is a different title called Lockdown. Everything else we need JavaScript to show there. We cannot show like our OS or or create the datetime without using the JavaScript just in HTML. So this is a pretty big deal. What we'll do in the future is actually create a way for user to enter something, to search through the data, and in the future we will get the data from some server, from some backend. And that would be a pretty cool thing. That will be like 80% dev, or like web devs, front-end web dev stuff. The other things are just design, and I suck at design. I suck at CSS. So you will need to wait for Danica to show you that. So any questions, guys? So I have one question for you, because you don't have any questions for me. Do you want to see like shorter videos that go in depth about one thing in JavaScript, like short videos about 5 to 10 minutes? Would that be easier? I wouldn't stream them. Would it be easier for you to get up to speed, or something like that? Because I will continue to do the streams like on our schedule or everything, but if you need like a quick refresher or something, that would be cool for me to make, yeah, if that's okay with you. So again, I showed you that last time, but there is something called MDN web docs. I can't remember everything. Like I don't remember all the like different methods or different commands to do. I searched the MDN developer Mozilla site. If I said it last time, if you need anything, if you need to remember, here's like everything there, like body, all the properties body, how to use body, and so on, in the document.body things in here. And you can see there is a lot of data. So you don't need to learn this by heart. You can always use the internet. Like good portion of what a web developer does is he really knows how to use Google and search things and search the answer from other developers. Nobody expects you to know this by heart. Actually, some developers say that you need to know by heart, but they're really sucky developers if they think that. So if there is no questions, guys, I will be signing out now. It's a little bit earlier. Yeah, okay. So tutorial SK, said yes to shorter refresh videos, yeah, that's another, that's the next step that I will take and create some short things to show everybody. Yeah, guys, see you next time. It's on Thursday at 6 p.m. So see you guys. Bye.